You take that offense. This also is going to What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Q Dog. Got to get my headphones so I can hear it. Austin, are you on the telephone?
I am.
Okay. I'm going to go see if I can find the press conference.
Okay.
Whew, Alabama pulls out a crazy victory, ladies and gentlemen, 29-22, and really never looked good in the football game. Save that touchdown, that pick six, which was amazing, but kind of all downhill after that for Alabama. But they find a way to win in South Carolina, which is a very difficult place to play. Man, the brand of emotions that go on there, holy cow. What are your thoughts initially, Austin, while we pull this press
Well,
conference up?
a wild stat. DeBoer has 2 come from behind victories at Alabama, and they're both against South Carolina.
What, is that right?
That's what Booger McFarland just said. That's wild to me.
Yeah, that's something else right there, dude.
Uh, Man, I mean, ugly game, ugly game, but somehow they find a way to win the ugly ones. It just stresses us all out a lot more.
It does. It does, even to the point of Austin Dash saying, hey, I need a drink.
Hey, I mean, uh, kudos to South Carolina. They came to play, but man, uh, this is the epitome, I feel like, of playing with your food. Just
Yeah.
execution. Even more so in the second half was just horrible, horrible.
Yeah, it truly was.
Uh, and I mean, the offensive line struggled with Stewart, which is expected. I feel like Formby did a better job in those last few drives. He held his own a little more. Um, but when you're hit a bunch, I could see how your throws aren't gonna be there if you're thinking you're gonna get hit. But kudos
Yeah.
to them for stepping up on those last 2 drives. And my lord, what a play by Deontay Lawson. And Tim Keenan's belly is so big that he didn't even know he had the football.
I know. That's what I was telling Josh. That was pretty interesting there, was it not?
Yeah, Deontay Lawson yelling, "Hey, by the way, you've got the football."
I'm going to go ahead and get us on DeBoer watch, okay? I don't know if it's going to take him a minute to to get us there, but I'll keep trying to refresh. Well, Wild Bill, your first thoughts.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, brother. That's a good way to put it. That was something else, wasn't it?
I guess that's one of them old cliches. Good teams find ways to win.
You
But
know, that's true.
they didn't look good for a lot of the game.
I
But they
told
found a
Josh,
way.
that's right. I told Josh, I was like, man, you know what that was? That was one of those heavyweight fights where the champ gets beat up the entire time. And in the 12th round, he just finds a way to knock his opponent out and put him to sleep. And
That
that's,
was that was Rocky Balboa and Ivan Drago, where they just beat the mess out of us until the end of it.
yeah, that was something else.
Is that a fumble or a first down?
All right, guys, I'll mind the presser over here, and hopefully we get that here pretty soon. We'll get to hear what Coach DeBoer has to say. If you're joining us now, and there he is.
Our backs to the wall, even during the bye week in Wisconsin, and even just the mindset that we had to continue to have going into Monroe. So proud of the guys, and we'll take the momentum, and we'll have some great practices. I know that, and looking forward to the next one in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Coach. Let's start. We got 2 questions right in the front. Charlie first, and Nick. Coaches, can you walk us through that 2-point conversion to tie the game? Just what was called there? What you see?
I can't hardly hear it.
I mean,
I'll see what I can do.
It's just one of those plays we practice all the time. You know, we've had it in for, again, it's one of those we've had in for years. We've run it a time or two here and there over the last, I don't know, 5-6 years. And so just guys practice it. And you practice it every Thursday, every Friday. You're talking through it for those moments. And, you know, you just offset quarterback, running back, end up handing it to Ty, getting it in his hands. And then, you know, really there's run pass option with different guys that you can find. But guys did a great job executing a critical moment.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, obviously this is a type of game unranked on the road that you guys have struggled at times. You guys haven't found ways to win. What do you think was the difference in this game in finding those ways to win later?
I just think the investment of time that we put in talking about the big plays and a mindset that you just got to keep swinging. You got to line up defensively and play another play. You got to forget about the last one they scored on the possession before, you know, and I mean, it was a shorter field, but going back out there and the next play is a whole different set of circumstances. And again, the critical moments and practicing the 2-minute drills and practicing, you know, the third down plays and the fourth down ones, they aren't always going to work, but you play with confidence. When you play with confidence, you're giving yourself a chance.
Let's go on the left here, Colin.
Hey, Galen, anything with that final drive down game, what do you see in terms of the performance? I guess, I don't know, the calmness that Ty was able to execute on that play.
Yeah, that was impressive. I think all around from the, you know, the guys and the coaches, the coaching staff just really being patient, you know, and taking it one play at a time, knowing that, you know, when you got to get the 2-point conversion, but just trusting and believing that our guys will execute. And they did, you know, just stacked plays, and everyone did their job. We didn't have any penalties that hurt us. You know, we didn't have those negative plays that hurt us. And so, again, just everyone locking in, doing your job, and trusting your buddies.
Alex on the left.
Two things. One, did you notice the fans inching down to storm the field? Did you say anything?
I didn't notice. Yeah, I didn't notice.
Well, that's the answer to that. With Deontay Lawson, just what can you say about him making that play? Obviously, a guy who's been through a lot of stuff.
Man, I'm so proud of that guy, and he's getting better too. He's, you know, I don't even know the number of months out from last year, but he's getting better. In practice, you can see it, and there's just things that he's working so hard to get his body right, and it's awesome to see him come through. And just the leadership piece, it's so important to have him out there. I thought, you know, from a leadership standpoint, our TK raised his game, not just on the field, but off the field. Those guys are the ones that understand what this fight is all about. And, you know, we got a lot of new faces still. I mean, 30-some guys probably that were new this year, 35 probably that came in last year. And so, you know, there's a lot of roster turnover. And so understanding the circumstances and what you're coming into, you got to really rely on those guys that have been through it. And those are two workhorses that I'm super proud of. I'm glad we got this moment for them.
Let's go to Katie right in the middle.
You talked a lot about learning from past experiences. What do you think this team has learned from that first game this year, maybe some of those unranked players losses last year too?
Yeah, I think the experiences we've had since then, where we have come through and found a way and understand getting points at the end of a first half, and you know, we didn't separate ourselves the way I'd like. In fact, you know, we fell behind, but we've, you know, knowing that we've scored a lot of points over the course of the year, and you know, all you need is one touchdown drive. Now, again, that's easier said than done against a really good defense, but just again, it's the resiliency piece. It's leave it all on the football field and have no regrets, and that's the way I want our guys living and I want our guys playing.
Two questions on the far left. Chase and then Mike. Go ahead, Chase.
Coach, just speak to the level of trust that you've got in Jeremy Bernard to, in a game-winning situation like that, take the ball out of Ty's hands and go with a direct snap to a wide receiver like that.
Yeah. I mean, we got all the trust in the world. You've seen us every week have different things that we do where he's lined up in a wildcat and getting him out of the backfield, throwing him the ball, you know, double pass opportunities. And so guys, you know, who are disciplined, guys who the game slows down for them, you give them the opportunities as much as possible in critical moments to go make plays for you.
All right, let's go to Mike. Go
Just
ahead.
on that same topic of the trick plays, just how deep does that catalog go, and how often are you adding new plays to that?
Which one, the last one or the touchdown? Or?
Trick plays with Bryce.
Yeah. I mean, and it keeps building because our staff is crazy sometimes. They just every week are adding to it. And what I like to see is I like to see us work on plays, and a lot of times they don't get called that week, but you start banking reps of each concept or each play, and as you become more and more comfortable, the right opportunity pops up. It's on the call sheet, and you let it fly. And so again, I want our guys, not flinching, when those type of things come up. Like, let's just go do what we do, And again, you put it in the guys' hands that you trust, and you put the pressure on the other team by doing that.
Let's go to Hunter right in the middle.
Yeah, you said a couple times already about the critical moments, and you mentioned on Monday as well. Just how would you assess the critical moments throughout this game?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to convert every fourth down, and I know the one that we didn't get, just missed the throw to Ryan, ended up really costing us, so they came back with a shorter field and hit the touchdown. But, I tell our defense that, the confidence I have in them shows up when I do go for it. Yeah, I have confidence in our offense to get the first down, but I have confidence that our defense won't melt mentally, physically, go out there and do their job. And so it's team football, and that's, again, those critical moments. We probably are crazy aggressive in practice, in fall camp and spring ball, just so when those fourth down plays come, yeah, you understand there's a little more at stake, but you're not just collapsing under the pressure. And let's go out there and, again, put the pressure on them.
All right, we got two more questions. Start Joe in the front row, then Joe in the second row.
Coach, the first with Deshaun Johnson's interception, what did you see out of him 2 weeks in a row? You've had back-to-back pick sixes. And then when the offense is not really doing so well, what are the messages to the defense to keep going out there and keep giving them chances?
Yeah, every week is going to be different matchups, right? We knew that, there was things that we could do defensively in attacking, things that they'd be vulnerable with, but also opportunities with Sellers with the ball in his hands. And, we saw what Harbor can do getting down the field. You're not going to keep up with him more times than not. And so we understood that there was matchups defensively and even matchups within the defensive side. And then offensively, we knew that, Stewart was going to be really tough along with the rest of the pass rush. And so, again, you just challenge the defense, and I think we're to the point now where the relationships are so tight. We're in this together. We're in the fight together, but there's also times where you just got to ask more out of them, and they realize the occasion, and they want it, and so they're going to give you everything they got.
All right, go ahead, Joe. Last question.
Yeah, Caleb, why is it good to win ugly games? Why is that good? Is there something different in the game than a big win against tough guys?
Yeah, it's not good when you're in the moment, but it's certainly a good feeling right now because you're going to take the experiences and how you did it, and that's going to add to the belief you have. And you just got to be mindful that it didn't happen on its own. You had to go make it happen. You had to strain.
That's right.
Get your cleats in the dirt and really lock in, And again, everyone's got to do their job. And so these moments stack on top of themselves, and more times than not, they've been positive, and that's what we got to ride. And I'm excited about what it's going to look like practicing because there's just, again, probably as much juice as I've seen in the locker room right now. Over the course of the last 5 weeks. I think, we kicked off the road game at Georgia. That was a big one against it in the SEC. And I think just we've understood what this sequence of games was going to be like, and just knew that, like I said earlier in the week, we're in the stretch. We're not through the stretch. We're right in it. And so, again, we'll be back in it real soon. But, again, happy that we got a little bye week to get some guys rested and be back.
All right, thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thanks.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and keep a lookout for the plays coming in or the players coming in. Hopefully the feed stays live. I'd love to hear what some of the guys have to say. So I've got it muted. If anybody shows up, then I'll be happy to go ahead and put them out there. But well, shucks, looks like they cut the feed. I'll see what I can do to find it, but man, there's a lot. That is a power-packed press conference. Sorry that we missed part of it. I was a little slow on getting it rocked in there. My apologies, everybody. But if you're just joining us, Alabama goes to South Carolina, unranked team. This is one of those situations that is just the nemesis of Coach DeBoer and his time in Alabama. And I tell you what, guys, it looked pretty grim there the longer the game went on. And lo and behold, Alabama does what they had no ability to do last year. And that is to hunker down, get resilient, not panic, score, create turnovers, and then put the game away. And it didn't happen with a field goal. We didn't want to see if it was, we didn't want it left up to the field goal kicker. I believe that he could have made the field goal. We were in great range. But it just feels better, in my opinion, feels better for the team, for the win, to score a touchdown. And we had been playing so poorly all night long. Props to the defense. This defense, I haven't looked at the number of plays, but the time of possession is so lopsided. It is pitiful.
It ended up being a little closer after that long drive. I think they had the ball for 33 minutes at the end. So Alabama, that super long drive to score kind of changed that a little bit.
Yeah, I think at one point we had the ball like 18 minutes and they had like 30 minutes. And it showed. And in my opinion, that's the danger of your offense not being able to execute long drives, even if it ends in a punt, is when you have a big physical quarterback, of the worst offensive line in the country, and they're able to make the right blocks, and they're able, South Carolina is able to slip through. While Bill, just first thoughts, what stood out to you tonight when it comes to this Alabama team and the game?
Really, all you can say is resiliency, because we didn't play well. The offensive line didn't play well. Ty didn't play well at times. The receivers didn't help him at times. The defense, they gave up a couple of 2 or 3 big plays, but for the most part, the defense played pretty well. It's like a few times they was afraid to hit the quarterback. And, but they never gave up, even though to me it looked like we had no energy on the sideline at times. But the one thing that really puzzled me through all of it was why Jalen had his back turned on that punt.
Yeah, with Mbakwe.
Yeah. How do you know where the ball is if you have your back to the ball? And I'm sure that's going to be a coaching and teaching moment. But what are you thinking?
Well, here's the thing to your credit, here's the thing on that. You are supposed to, in a college football game, you're not going to hear the punter screaming from all the way down the field. But what you should hear your punt returner yelling at you where the football is. Because you want to, while you are tearing down the field, there should be some kind of audible signal to let you know if you're too close to the football, and you scream right. And if the ball's coming down, usually it's like we would scream Peter, and then the direction of the football so that you know how to get out of the way. But that guy seemingly pushed Mbakwe into the football. And then he made a great play by pushing Mbakwe into Cole Adams and just creating chaos.
Which I thought was a penalty, but maybe I don't know anything. But I thought you couldn't run him into the. But I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe that has to do with the returner. Ask Amber. I've been wrong before.
Oh yeah, we know that because we have record. No, I'm kidding around. We do, but I'm kidding anyway. Wild Bill, thanks for your thoughts there. Hey, if you're watching this live stream, which we know that you are, why don't you send in the comments? Why don't you put one word that define this Alabama team? When as the takeaway from tonight. Now, if you're on X, I think we're having some challenges getting the comments through on X. So if you are commenting on X and it's not coming up, I need to get with Squadcast to see about resolving that. But otherwise, if you're one of the people watching the program, I'm going to ask Austin now. What is Wild Bill said resiliency? Resilient. What about you, Austin Smash? What do you think?
I mean, no quit. It would have been very easy to just fold, just like some of these other games we've played this year, just like the Missouri game, just like the Vanderbilt game, definitely just like the Georgia game. I mean, that's what we saw last year was, things don't go your way and the ball game's over. You might as
Yeah.
well just end it. So, they got more heart than I do because I did not see them suddenly executing and doing what they needed to do down the field, and it's like a switch was flipped, and I'm like, okay, guys, why did it take until your last drive in the fourth quarter to just turn it on? Uh, which is wild, but kudos to them, they did it. Got out there with an ugly win.
Yeah, and I told Josh, we'll all take it. I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss anytime. And we were screaming about the clock management. That we were like, why are you burning the clock? Why are we not? Number one, why is the clock not stopped when we get a first down and when we run out of bounds at 2 minutes and under? I noticed that was not happening.
Yeah, that's weird. That's supposed to happen for sure.
Yeah, we noticed that did not happen, and now there's nothing to do. I'm glad we just ran out of time. But the defense closed the game out too, guys. The defense had they shut him down on that last drive.
Well, I'm surprised by the decision to score with 30 seconds left or 20 seconds, whatever it was. I think that I would try to go down because they let you score. But, then if you have a play from the one, if you don't get it, kick a field goal. But, I mean, they didn't have the timeouts to really do anything, so that helps. But I didn't know about scoring that quick.
Score, baby.
Yeah.
You got a chance, score the touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in favor of scoring as quickly as possible because while you're giving the other team time, they still have to make plays. And I thought we were behind. And Amber, I think, texted in the BS chat, "Ugh, now we got to make plays." And I was like, "Josh, are we behind? What's the matter here?" Because I thought something happened. So I panicked, and he sort of panicked and told me not to panic, and we kind of went back and forth with each other.
Hey,
and then we watched the defense. So
and I think another thing that really helped on their last possession. Before he kicked it, I told Amber, I said, I'm kicking this in the field where he's got to run time off the clock.
That's right.
And him wasting time and getting tackled at the 8, I mean, that took 10 seconds off.
That guy that hit him lit him up, too.
Yeah.
He sure did. He sure did. His last name is Reese. Was number 36 Reese?
Yep.
He tattooed him.
Yeah.
He lit him up.
I think we also got to see some new players on the field just because, the defense was tired. But the younger guys up on the line, I think they're there to make an impression. And I was pleased with what I saw. 16, number 8. I can't remember who number 8 is, or I didn't see his last name, but
8 is Justice Hill. He's a freshman outside linebacker.
He plays with confidence, which I was very proud. But I think one thing
very highly recruited.
One thing I want to talk about, Austin, that the team had, I don't know if you said more heart. I can't remember the verbiage that you used, but I think this team trusts each other. And that's what I see. Cause there was no panic emotion there. It's actually more stoic on the sideline than anything.
Very interesting.
And if anything, it's Coach DeBoer that has the emotion, which it was kind of a flip-flop scenario, in his first year for the most part. So, I'm excited. It's
Well,
great to win.
it's like a quiet confidence of, now that they've been tested and been through, these close games. It's kind of almost like the offense said, "Well, okay, let's go down and do what we do. Let's go score and end the game." And
Yeah.
then the defense came out and said, "Well, okay, let's get a turnover and end the game because that's what we do." So, that kudos to them for. It's like this is just everyday work when they flip that switch.
Yep. Yep. And I told Josh that I wanted to turn over a methodical drive, score a touchdown, and for us to put this away. And thankfully, the boys gave me what I wanted, and I know everybody else wanted it too. So there's nothing real special about that, but certainly proud of Alabama finding a way to win. That is just something, and I've said it already in this podcast. That's something that we did not see last year, and I'm really taken aback, and I hope that there's some soul searching for our offensive line. And them just looking at the combination because I know that South Carolina got one of their, probably their best defensive lineman or maybe their best defensive player, period, back for the game. But I did just feel like it was frustrating watching the play calling, and it was frustrating watching, Ty Simpson in so much duress. It was frustrating when Ty was in duress, but still making a good throw that our receivers were not catching the football. And so, Austin, I know early on you didn't agree that, or maybe you do now. I don't know. You didn't necessarily agree that South Carolina was a challenging place to play, even though AJ McCarron said it was. You touted that they were terrible. But what would you say about that atmosphere tonight after watching it? And I mean, I think I heard it all the way over here in Texas. It was that loud. I mean, it was deafening so loud.
I was more so shocked that the place was absolutely packed to capacity when they're 3-4 and haven't. I don't think they've won an SEC game, so that surprised me. But I still feel like we've played in harder places this year.
Okay, well, I mean,
But
there's no.
but we've executed better. So
We
I don't.
did.
That's what confuses me is, that.
You didn't answer the question.
No, I'm saying the atmosphere was great, but the atmosphere was great at Sanford Stadium, and we executed.
But
Well,
hey, Quincy,
go ahead, Wild Bill.
AJ explained on that one podcast though, South Carolina Stadium is coming. It's like they're all right on top of the
On top of
field
you,
It goes
right?
straight up.
instead of it being like Bryant Denny or Athens where you're spread out. It's like they're right there on top of you.
That's right.
Everybody. And I just loved it because they all was coming down. They're gonna get ready to storm the field.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what? While we're down here, let's just go ahead and head to the car.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something I'm with you. I saw that, and Josh was looking at his phone about something, and Melly and I were like, those people are walking down to the edge because they're going to storm the field like they had already determined. So I am happy to disappoint them that Alabama disappointed them. But I'll say this. Was it Tessitore and Jesse Palmer that called the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They looked a little upset after Alabama scored that touchdown.
well, here's the thing is that if you listen to what Tessitore said, Jesse Palmer confirmed. I don't know that did he play? Did he have any games at South Carolina? I'm not sure. But he said it was like as far as South Carolina Stadium, it is like one of the sneaky places, one of the most difficult places to play from an atmosphere standpoint. So,
yeah, well, he would have played there, Quincy, because they played at Florida.
Okay, that's right. So he does have firsthand knowledge. I don't know when I think of Jesse Palmer, I think of USC. So I've really got him confused with someone else. But
Jesse Palmer played 2 games versus South Carolina at South Carolina.
Yeah,
okay.
That was when it was still East and West.
That's right. And he was talking about that too. So what I intend to do is send a message to Jesse Palmer to get him on the show because I want Austin to tell him why it's not a difficult place to play. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just joshing you. Anyway, guys,
what I intend to do is never expect Alabama to score a bunch of points ever again.
yeah, I've got actually have the winners already marked ready for Monday's show. And just so you know, those of you watching, we have a full show on Monday. This is instant reaction to talk about what Coach DeBoer says in the playoff or in the press conference. We have our first initial thoughts. But on Mondays at 5:30 Central, we have Wild Bill and his Bama bullet points. I'll take care of the stats in the second quarter. The third quarter, we have the dashes on the board. And then the fourth quarter, we talk about the upcoming game. And this week, we're going to have a bye week, but we'll talk about predictions and we'll look ahead to that LSU game. And I'm excited to say that we should have a special guest, Mr. Alan Dunn, on the program this week to come in and talk to us about Alabama football, a little bit of talk about Alabama baseball, and just get an opportunity to learn a little bit more about who he is. I think he's going to be a fantastic guest. Kudos to Wild Bill for making the suggestion. I had a 30-minute or so conversation with him last week, and I just came away I was elated to spend some time with him and hear about his journey, and I know that our fan base will be as well.
You're thinking about Carson Palmer.
That's who I'm thinking about.
That's it.
All right.
Bingo.
D. Mathis, thanks for sending us a message. Roll Tide from Georgia. That's right. Grind it out until the last second. It's not over until it's over. And I tell you what, D, we can say that about this team this year, which I'm very proud of their ability to come back because I wanted them to want it. And kudos to them for grinding it out. I mean, even down to getting the 2-point conversion.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think that.
That play was bigger than the touchdown.
I mean, it was a have to. It was a have to. And so, our offense, we made them burn their timeouts. And when it's all said and done, they obviously, the coaching staff this time was, smarter than the fan base. But I was screaming about time of possession. I was beside myself. And then I wonder, I don't know if anybody's going to take a look at it, guys, but I'm telling you, it did not seem like that the officiating crew was stopping the play clock. I don't know how many seconds you get, but they're supposed to set the ball and then, roll the clock. And I just didn't see that. Even when we went out of bounds, the clock was still ticking. Now, maybe that benefits us on the end. Brandon Phillips, RTR, dude. Welcome on. Great to have you on the program. So maybe it benefits us, but truly, what a game. And when it starts getting, late in the game and it doesn't look like we're going to win, I have flashbacks to Florida State and wonder, how am I going to hold it together on this podcast?
This game looked like that one in a lot of ways in the second half.
Well, they did what they came to do. So
hey, it's not over till Tim Kanan rolls over on the ball.
That's right. That's right. In echoing the words of D, it's not over until it's over. And Alabama decided tonight on the last possession that it was over, and they sacked Lennar Sanders and stole the game. And we were shouting steal their soul, and Alabama did it. So kudos to the Crimson Tide, ladies and gentlemen. Alabama goes to South Carolina, plays an absolute ugly game, and comes away with the win 29-22. If you didn't see it, please go back and watch it because the fan base for South Carolina headed down the stairs because they were getting ready to rush the field, and they had to go back to their cars. Let's see. I think back to Rocky Block, Mount Cody, and how we won it all that year. Yes, I agree. It does have some of those sentiments. D, and I'm with you, and I'm sure the rest of the team would agree. There are those games throughout the year in seasons where our team makes a run for the championship that you point back to and you think about, holy cow, remember when? And this is going to be one of those games where you go back and these guys, and I told Josh this too. I told our whole group here watching the game, I said, ultimately, if we can pull this out and we can win, there's two great things that come from it. Number one is that the coaches can look at the players and say, guys, we played an ugly game. We were able to be resilient. We trusted each other and we won. But now let's talk about the ugly side. Let's talk about the lessons. Let's talk about your preparation for the week. And I need you to search your soul to see if you saw, 1-4 South Carolina. Somebody got blew out last week by Oklahoma, and maybe you didn't take responsibility and ownership of preparing like you should have. So I want to say we got away with one, but actually the Tide earned that win. I mean, they legitimately
They didn't get away
took
with it.
it.
They took it. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And like Deontay Lawson, I know we've mixed words, Wild Bill, about Deontay Lawson, but that young man, he is making improvements. He's coming along. And Coach DeBoer even said it, which it might have been, bless you, might have been hard to hear him in the presser, that he's even getting better, at practice. So a lot of great things to look at here. A couple teams idle. Before we go, what are y'all's thoughts on Ole Miss? Well, Bill, what do you think about Ole Miss and OU?
That was a good game.
Yeah.
I loved it because Lane Kiffin was talking to the Oklahoma player when it was over. That guy had been talking to him all during. I've never heard of a player talking to a head coach during the game like that. And that guy telling Lane Kiffin, y'all not going to score on us. What was the final? 30
It was
something?
Yeah.
Didn't they score 30 something?
It was
So
like
Lane,
34 to 26 or something like that.
So Lane Kiffin said something to the dude after the ball game. I love that. But it was a heck of a ball game.
It was.
It was.
I thought Oklahoma had a chance to win it, but Mateer just couldn't rein it in.
Yeah, well, he was well off on throwing the ball.
Yeah, I think they rushed him back.
Yeah.
But kudos to Lane for not letting it slip away like they did last week at Georgia. At points in that game, I thought, well, Pete Golden's going to Pete Golden, just like they did last week. But they came through and made plays. So,
well, I'm going to tell you, Norman, Oklahoma, no matter what the venue, it is a very difficult place to play, and for Ole Miss to come off of a loss in Georgia, for them to give that game away the way that they did, and then come back and compete to beat Oklahoma, that says a lot about the character of that football team as far as their competitive character and their will to win. The other thing is, it looks like
they could have very easily come out flat after last week.
Right. The other game that looked interesting that I came in here and sat down, so I didn't get to see it, was Mississippi State putting it on Texas.
Last I saw, they was up 38-28.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Quincy, I don't know if you and Josh, I don't know if Austin did, saw a name that has been thrown out at Florida.
Who is it? Right,
Mr. John Gruden.
No.
Me and Cindy heard that today on the college game day. That's a name that was thrown into the mix, Mr. Josh. I knew Josh would love that.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it because I love John Gruden. We want him back at the Raiders.
Well,
bring him back.
You know how it is, though. You hear everything, but yeah, that was a name that was thrown out there.
That's a guy with the right attitude that'll help you win football games, man. I love watching him on his videos on what was it, Gruden Barstool? I don't know. He's very entertaining, and he knows the game, dude. He knows the game. And the Raiders haven't been the same since he left. So, well, guys, I'm going to call it a wrap there. We'll be back on Monday night at 5:30 Central. So if you're watching the program now, we invite you to come back. Be prepared to to tell us what's important about this game and what you're looking forward to for the rest of the season as you, the listener. We're going to bring you the content, and we're excited that you are here with us. Austin Dash, your final thoughts, sir.
I'm glad that's over. Now I can rest and watch these other games and not be stressed tonight. So there's that.
Yes, you do not have to avoid ESPN all weekend. That's a
No.
good feeling.
And I'm sure Twitter's on fire right now because it would have been had South Carolina won.
Oh yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Wild Bill, what are your thoughts?
Roll Tide, get you some rest, and then hit back on the practice field and correct your mistakes.
That's right. And you know, for you guys watching, I often play this because it's a point in the show. I'm 100% certain that Coach DeBoer never saw this, but I want to show you guys this video where we called him to be the man that the moment needs. So I want you to watch this before we go. We'll be right back for a sign off right after this. You know, just a couple things before I turn it over to Josh real quick, because I know he's got a comment he wants to make. You can be a nice guy, but you can also still bring the thunder. And I know that. I know that for a fact. And just in my own life and my own development, of course, I have never coached at the level of the University of Alabama. I maybe I've not had that kind of pressure, but God knows that in my life, in real life, I've had significant amounts of pressure. And the reason I'm even going to talk about it is because you do have the ability to grow outside of yourself and become what the moment needs. How do I know that? Because I have done that. Obviously, it's by the grace of God. It's by a lot of hard work, and it's about choosing the mental fortitude and becoming who you want to be. And he has the goods. But in this particular situation, when it comes to the University of Alabama and the expectations, this man has the framework to get the job done. But what got him here is not going to get him to where he wants to go with this program. Because he's got to embrace something that he may never had to have done before. It's a new version of who he is. And Coach Saban had to do that on some levels whenever he was coaching, because he had a system and a process, and he was forced to evolve when offenses changed in college football and in the SEC. So that's where DeBoer finds himself. I was not built to stand face to face, with neurosurgeons and advocate and fight and push back and demand that my daughter gets brain surgery. But you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built to sit in front of the two people that sexually abused my kids, but you have to embrace the moment. I wasn't built for many of these things, for autism, for seizures, etc. And that's real life. And for him, this is real life. This is the program. It's the future of his coaching staff. It's the families that are connected. It's the boys that are there that want to be professional football players. He has to rise to the moment, and he can. He has what it takes. And he has it's a great coaching staff around him. And I say that too about Ty, because we want the good guys to win. Yeah. But he's got to execute. Josh, I'll turn it over to you. What did you want to say?
That was a lot. It's going to be hard to top that.
Wild Bill, there's a lot of season left, but I really think we are watching that call to action play out before our eyes. And it's encouraging. It's very encouraging to watch, because it's not often you get to see something like this. There's coaches all over college football that were not able to embrace the moment. Right. They were not able to step up and become what the moment needed. and they are losing their job and their family and their livelihood and everything, their coaching staff, et cetera, are at stake. The program's in chaos. But Kalen DeBoer is rising above that. And I hope that it continues. I mean, right now he has won, he and the Alabama Crimson Tide have won 7 straight football games. 4 of those against ranked opponents, one after another, after another, after another. And tonight, they almost beat what I believe is the only team that can beat them, and that's themselves. So kudos to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Looking forward to, going to miss them playing, but it's going to be great for them to get some rest as they get ready to host LSU. LSU has got arguably the most important game of their season tonight versus Texas A&M. And so I don't know what happens if they don't win. Is Brian Kelly sent on down the road? Does that put more chaos in the coaching carousel in the SEC? But we'll find out more come Monday. So we ask that you join us on Monday at 5:30 p.m. right here on the BS podcast. We're going to have a great time. We'd love it when you guys interact with us. So make sure that you bring your comments and be prepared. And thanks, guys, for being on. For Austin Dash, for Wild Bill and his Bama bullet points to come, I am Quincy Moran, and this is the BS podcast. Hey, guys, God bless you. God bless you. Galatians 6:9. Don't grow weary in doing good. Get after it. Roll Tide, folks.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
One message for you two from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
We gonna play with the players we got. Next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
What the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS podcast.
Hang on.
Moran.
Hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.